My name is Cale Brock and I'm a surfer and a filmmaker. The last time we were here, I tested 12 off-the-shelf everyday surfer surfboards in the Melbourne wave pool. The sharp Eye Inferno 72 took out the coveted victory, with the Album, Twinsman and Hayden Shapes cohort also placing well. This series is different. For the next 4 episodes, I'm testing only, strictly, exclusively twin fin surfboards in the self-appointed quest of discovering the world's greatest twin fin shape. We've curated who we believe to be some of the world's best shapers, known in the twin fin space for creating incredible crafts. And over a period of 2 months, I'm going to be chasing waves up and down the east coast of Australia to decipher the best one. Not everybody wanted to be involved this year. Apparently, honesty wasn't an appreciated characteristic of my last series, but it's thanks to you guys watching that these productions go ahead. This year, each company has generously, bravely donated their surfboards to the test with no strings attached. At the end, I'll be selling all but 3 of the boards to pay for the production of the series and also to raise a bit of cash for a good cause. To grab a board or to win one of the finalists later on, join me on Instagram at CalesBroccoli, where I also share a ton of behind-the-scenes clips. We'll just paddle around each other, nose diving, party waving. I can't do it. This series is brought to you by my online surf school, The Surfer's Roadmap. It took me until my mid-20s to progress my surfing from intermediate to advanced, and I did it by learning it intellectually so I could coach. The curriculum we've developed at thesurfersroadmap.com, the same one that helped me improve, I think is the most effective out there, and it's achieving incredible progression for thousands of students around the world, often in just one day. Be sure to check it out at the link in the description to support this and future productions. So what are we looking for in a great twin fin?
If the twin fin's right, you want to be able to feel like it's effortless when you do that first initial pump to get speed straight away. And you want to feel a little bit more on top of the water than what you're used to. Definitely something you feel like you're almost up and it feels like the water's just rushing through seamlessly underneath you. I don't know. I think that's the easiest way to put it. It's just going to feel like seamless speed, I guess.
That driving speed you get from a long drawn out bottom turn, that's definitely a key component of like good attributes of a twinny.
For me, it's the effortlessness that I'm after, being able to flow between turns without losing that speed, but at the same time being able to trust its hold if I want to push it on a section. Importantly, effortless speed and great control are attributes that'll work for most surfers, not just the pros, and that's why they'll be 2 of our main focus points throughout the series. That's a lot of boards. I feel very spoilt. I'm a man burdened with purpose of finding the best twin fin. Let's get into it. Alright, first cab off the rank, the Stacy Bullet Twin. 5'7", 19 5/8, 2 3/8 at 29 litres. So hopefully I can do it justice. I'm just keen to get started at it.
Cale couldn't dig his rail in as well as he could with some other different types of boards. But I love the design of it, it's so nice.
Yeah. It's the most beautiful sunrise. Such amazing colours. continued, I think, with this one. I really want to try it in good waves. Whenever I had a steep section, it would come alive and you could feel like it had a lot to give. And then just when I was in flat sections or on a smaller wave, I couldn't quite bury the rail without bogging the rail, which to me is a sign that it just wants a bit of extra curve in the wave. On the good ones though, it felt really nice. I'd love to try this in 4-foot surf. I feel like it would really shine. I reckon because this one's like sharp, it looks really performance-y. I'm just gonna throw the tail pad on there.
The tail pad on a twinny conversation is as polarising a topic as any. The purists versus the new school.
If it's a nice wide tail, I'm against it. I'm a bit of a purist, just wax only. But if it's pulled in a little more performance hybrid-y style, then I'll let it fly.
Why not? Like when you're trying to aim high performance surfing, I'll put a pad for sure.
Nah.
No way. No.
I feel like if you've got that classic kind of deeper swallowed board, you've got probably a bit of width and you want to just move your feet around, it feels it's better to do that with no pad. But then if I'm on like a tighter tail kind of board with a shallower swallow, that generally means it's a bit more performance based, and I like a tail pad in those circumstances.
No one makes a pad wide enough anyway, because they just should be left alone, It's like someone putting black tinted windows on an old Holden.
It's just feeling a little bit stiff, not responsive. So I'm going to give the keels a go. Hopefully this works a bit better. It's definitely better with the keels. There's just an odd moment where I had a really good section and I'd get low and I'd lean and the board just wouldn't respond as quick as I'd want it to.
Functionally speaking, a tail pad provides a support against which you can place your back foot to A, keep it on the surfboard, and B, provide awareness as to where the sweet spot is. Now, depending on where the fins are beneath the board, you may have a tiny sweet spot, and if that pad ain't on it, then your performance on the board may be hindered until you move.
Hypto Crypto Twin. I've never actually ridden a Hypto Crypto before. 5.5, 19.5, 2.5, 29.3 litres. So looking pretty nice. So Hayden told me to try the modern keels in this, but for the first time I just want to try the Power Twins because it was my preferred, like an upright twin fin.
I was just sitting there and a shark just ripped through the lineup at the back. It was a bit scary. I think I'm going to go back out.
Just easy as, and definitely had that little bit of extra squirt, that ease of adjustment. You could just really transition easily from rail to rail. The only fault I found was the hold in like rail turns. Could have also been the waves though. They were short and they had a steep sort of shoulder, which often makes it hard to sort of hold rail for a long time. So I could also try different fins.
instead of the power twins, I might try the keels on a point break or something like that. But yeah, that one was definitely the standout. I did like this board. It had a lot of hold. Like, it was surprising how much hold it had. At the moment though, it doesn't have that spark that I'm hoping one of these boards will have, that will separate it from being a good board into a great board. So this is weird because I feel like this board feels really good under my arm. It looks really good. It looks like something I would love. But it felt really stiff. It felt like I couldn't connect with the fins. And what I'm actually thinking is that there's probably too much distance here between the tail of the board and the fin plug, and then my back foot ends up here, well off the sort of pivoting point of the surfboard. So I think I'm going to call Chilli and just see if they would consider repositioning this or adding another one there, and then I can pull this pad off or pull the pad back and put it right on the tail. I'm just wondering if we can look at that fin plug in the back. Just because you notice like where my foot would have been is over that front half of the fins. And I kind of want to see how it surfs if my foot can get a little bit further back, because it definitely felt like I couldn't engage there, which is really interesting.
The further back your fins are on a board, the more grab and hold you'll experience in the performance. Kind of like the rudder on a boat. It's always a balance. Too much hold can make a board feel sticky and stiff. Too much stability, basically. So optimizing this against maneuverability is a key consideration that all shapers make when placing their fins. Forward is more loose, further back is more stable.
You don't want to be up on your board. You want to have your back foot back on the board. With the Twinny, you want to have the fins back further enough so you get the grip, but you need to have your foot on the tail as well. With the width in the tail comes a really slippery board if you don't place your fins right.
That felt so much better than when I had the pad on it, because I could get my foot in the right spot way over here where the plug used to be. Right here during those couple of good ones, just felt really nice. It doesn't have like a big zip of speed like I'd expect a 22, but it performs really well when the wave is bucketed out and quite cuppy and really good. I felt like I could really push it in those top turns, and it felt beautiful in those moments.
I find there's a little sweet spot and you can feel it. If you shuffle your back foot around, you'll find when your foot is right on top of the fins as opposed to in front or behind. As soon as it falls behind, you're going to pivot and on top of the water. As soon as you go in front, it's going to feel stiff and clunky. But when you're right bang on top of them, that's where your control is.
I'm just going to send these boards that are for the next week. And then I've got the current 20s in the van, so we should be laughing before we pick up another 4 or 5 boards. Should be fine.
On the next episode of the Greatest Twin Fin series, we're continuing our search for that one special board. Also, how much does tail shape and volume matter with a twin? We'll take a deep dive into the twin fin matrix along the way. Until then, be sure to sign up at thesurfersroadmap.com to start progressing your surfing, and join me on Instagram at KalesBroccoli. I'll see you then.